This is ASTM C138 density test. The purpose of this test is to determine the density of concrete using a known container's weight and the volume of concrete that it can hold. The equipment we'll be using is a steel cylindrical container, a scale, a tamping rod 24 inches in length and 5/16 inches in diameter, a strike-off plate, a mallet, and a hand scoop. First, we begin by dampening everything that will touch the concrete. Then, weigh and record the value of the steel container. As we can see here, it is 7.5 pounds. Next, we place the bucket down and fill it with concrete in 3 equal parts volume. Using the tamping rod, rod 25 times. Then, mallet the sides 10 to 15 times. Repeat this process for the second layer. When rodding 25 times for the second layer, make sure to go 1 inch deep into the previous layer. Finally, repeat this process for a third time and make sure to overfill. Once again, rod 25 times and 1 inch into the previous layer. Once you finish malleting the sides, take the strike-off plate and place it down 2/3 of the way and zigzag backwards. After you do that, place it again in the same spot and zigzag forwards. After that's complete, use the edge of the strike-off plate and strike off the top at an angle a couple of times. Once that's done, clean off the edges. After the edges are clean, lift the concrete, being careful not to spill, and lift it and bring it to the scale. Once again, weigh and record the weight. As we see here, it's 43.55 pounds. Now the density of the concrete will be the bucket weight with the concrete minus the bucket weight without the concrete over the volume that it can hold, which is 0.25 feet cubed. Next, we move on to ASTM C231, the air content by pressure method. The purpose of this test is to determine the air content within a concrete batch. This process can be done using the concrete that we used for the density test. So it uses all of the same equipment besides for adding a pressure meter device and a rubber syringe. First, we begin by dampening the pressure meter device and place the meter device on the top of the bucket. Next, we take the rubber syringe and push water through one side of the petcock until water comes out of the other side. Next, we close the air bleed valve and begin pumping air until the initial pressure, which on the gauge is a small 3. Once you finish pumping, tap the sides of the gauge until it stabilizes. If it goes above the amount that you want, open the bleeder valve to let a little air out. Then close it again and pump more air. And once again, tap until it stabilizes and you get the correct number that you'd want. After obtaining the right number, close both the petcocks. Then, with your hand on the little lever on top, take the rubber mallet and press the lever and hit the sides at the same time. The lever releases the air into the chamber that is in the air chamber. Lightly tap the meter again to stabilize. The air content equals the dial minus the aggregate correction factor. Read the dial to the nearest 0.1%. As we see here, it is 4.5 minus 1, which is the aggregate correction factor, which would be 3.5% air content. Once this is done, open the petcock, covering the hole with one hand. And then release the air bleeder valve. Thus concludes the air content test via the pressure method. Now clean the tools and you are done.